Hello and welcome to episode 48 of the All Things Leeds podcast, the Christmas special of the podcast. It's still going to be the same as the others in terms of content, but it is the last one before Christmas and the New Year, so yeah, it's a Christmas special. I'm NkGhTg, if you haven't heard me already, and joining me, as ever, is my co-host, Charles Foster. Hello.
Hi, mate. You alright?
Yeah, you?
Not really, I'm a bit ill, but I'm here anyway.
Yeah, apart from that, you're fine?
Yeah, I'm okay, yeah.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I mean, you'd fail to notice it wasn't because I'm sitting here looking at your tinsel and your ridiculous hat.
Yeah, I've got tinsel on my microphone boom arm, and I've got a Santa hat on. I'm right for Christmas spirit. I love Christmas.
Well,
I love this time of year.
I mean, that makes one of us.
I love this time of year. You're a Scrooge, mate.
I'm not a Scrooge.
You hate Christmas.
No, it's just a bit too cold, mate.
Yeah, it's cold.
And it's dark at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm not a fan.
But it's the most wonderful time of year. I love Christmas.
Allegedly.
Christmas a week from tomorrow. So, a week from today actually. A week from today when we're recording this. We're recording this on Wednesday, so a week from today. Yeah, I can't wait. I love Christmas. I absolutely love Christmas. I'm right into the Christmas spirit, and I am looking forward to this Christmas special. And there is plenty to discuss in this episode. We'll, of course, look back on Leeds United's rather disappointing 3-3 draw with Cardiff City at Elland Road last Saturday. We'll also look at how the Leeds United under-23s and women's team have been doing this week. There's some other bits of news to go over as well, and we'll be doing, Charles, we've done our best and worst 11 of the past decade. Best and worst Leeds United 11 of the past decade. We'll be revealing those, as well as ranking the managers that we've had, every single manager that we've had in these past 10 years, in order from best to worst. I'm quite looking forward to that.
Yeah, yours is a bit more methodical than mine. Mine was just purely emotional, how I decided my lists.
Yeah, you based it off of who you like and dislike. I based it off of who was actually good and who was actually bad. I've researched the statistics.
Yeah, he did a lot more research. I just went with players that I loved and players I hated.
Yeah, which is fair enough. But we'll be doing those later on in the show, and then we'll look ahead to Leeds United's next game that sees them take on Fulham away at Craven Cottage this Saturday, as well as look at other upcoming festive fixtures over Christmas and New Year, as this is the last episode of 2019. I'm quite sad about this. Last episode of 2019.
Does this mean that
time flies?
Does this mean that next year we have to cover 4 games in the first episode back?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
You're looking forward to that already.
There's going to be a lot of talking to do.
Yeah, there is. And there's a lot of talking to do in this episode. Plenty coming up here on the All Things Leeds podcast. Well, let's get straight into last Saturday's game then. Leeds United joined 3-3 with Cardiff City at Elland Road, of course. Charles, it's another point on the board, but it feels like a loss, doesn't it? Leeds did a very Leeds thing.
It was possibly the most Leeds thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
To be so good for so long and then achieve nothing is Leeds United to the core, really, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean, because the first hour of that game was the best I've ever seen us play, I reckon. We were just unbelievable. We could have been 6-0 up at half time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let's focus on positives first then. So Leeds, we were brilliant for the first 60 minutes or so. We were absolutely brilliant, playing some of the best football I've seen this Bielsa team play for a long time at least, anyway, if not ever. We were absolutely fantastic. Of course, we went 1-0 ahead just after 6 minutes. Cardiff City free kick. Leeds break on the counter-attack yet again.
Was it a free kick? I thought it was a corner.
Yeah, I think it was a free kick, yes, and it was cleared. Leeds hit on the counter yet again, as we've been doing quite a lot recently. Pablo Hernandez, fantastic ball over to Helder Costa on the left, who finished really well. And yeah, 1-0 up after 6 minutes. We were 2-0 up shortly after that, 8 minutes. Dallas turning and crossing brilliantly into Patrick Bamford, who controlled the ball with his chest and volleyed in from about 5 yards out. Fantastic goal, that one. And yeah, we were 2-0 up. We were in dreamland here. Yeah,
it was just superb. I mean, the first goal was kind of vintage Leeds at the moment. It was just a counter-attack out of nothing, really, out of a dangerous. Because obviously we knew Cardiff were going to be dangerous from set pieces.
Yeah, whoscored.com, they got it right. As soon as that counter-attack started, I was like, whoscored.com. They said that the crap at counter-attacks were really good.
Even when we were bad, they were so weak of counter because they were just too slow and they pushed too far forward. And obviously we had the likes of Costa and Dallas and Hernandez who just used to fly up the field, and we were doing really well. The second goal particularly was just Dallas kind of getting closed down, literally just turning around and crossing it pretty much first time.
Yeah, really good cross, actually.
And Bamford did superbly to bring it down, just volley it into the roof of the net. And
yeah, he did really well.
It was inconceivable for me at that point to think we would not go on to win the game.
Yeah, because 2 quick goals, 2-0 up in the first 8 minutes or so, and we were in dreamland, and we could have battered Cardiff by 5 or 6-0. Like I was thinking, especially we were absolutely brilliant. 2-0 to Leeds at half time, of course, but as I say, it could have been 4 or 5-0 really. Should we have had a penalty though midway through that first half? Bennett brought down Helder Costa in the box. Now initially I thought it was a Stonewall penalty because the ball did not change direction at all. Looking back on it, it's a Stonewall penalty.
I've seen it back. It's a pen.
It's a Stonewall penalty.
In fact, it's 10 times more of a pen than the pen we were actually given in the second half.
It was. We'll go on to the pen that we got in the second half. But this one in the first half, Stonewall penalty. I mean, even us in the stand, yes, it's on our side, the south stand side, but you could see that the ball did not change direction. And if it's not changed direction and both players have gone down, either book Helder Costa for diving, give a goal kick, or it's a penalty. It's a Stonewall penalty. We should have had a penalty there.
There was a lot of instances where, this aside, where there was one point where Helder Costa just got punched in the face by one of their players.
Yeah.
And the referee didn't give anything. I actually gave a free kick for it, but not a booking.
Yeah. As always, the officiating in this game was awful. Yeah. It was awful, and we've banged on about that enough on this podcast, but it needs looking at the officiating in this league because it is atrocious. But yeah, Leeds 2-0 up at half-time, made it 3-0 shortly into the second half on 52 minutes. Bamford brought down in the box by Cardiff goalkeeper Neil Etheridge. And it was a penalty, this one. It was quite a stupid challenge from Etheridge because Bamford was going absolutely nowhere. Etheridge did not need to come out and try and grab the ball.
He'd almost knocked the ball out of play already, Bamford, by the time he was challenged. Yeah,
he was going nowhere, but the goalkeeper did bring him down. It's a Stonewall penalty, that one, but Etheridge, Cardiff's goalkeeper, should not be making that challenge in the first place. Stupid decision from him. And if I was a Cardiff fan, I'd be fuming at him right now. But yeah, he brings down Bamford in the box. The referee awards a penalty, rightly so, because it was a Stonewall penalty. And Bamford stepped up and scored it to grab his second goal of the game and his 9th goal of the season as well. So he's almost reached the double figure mark, which is really good.
Some atrocious spelling on this running order, mate.
sorry about that.
Seize you on.
Chill. You know what it means. But yeah, Bamford's second goal of the game, 9th goal of the season. So hopefully he just kicks on and keeps on.
Pretty much the only good news of the game. Bamford's getting higher up in the scoring charts.
Yep. So we're 3-0 up, quite comfortable, and we're in dreamland here. And even when Cardiff pulled one back, they pulled a goal back on 60 minutes, of course. Lee Tomlin, to give him full credit to Lee Tomlin, he finished it brilliantly, fantastic finish. But NkghTg gave him the chance in the first place when he came for the cross and failed to punch it clear. And NkghTg should not have done that. I mean,
he does it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, people have defended him because he's coming out and he wants to help the defenders, and I get that, but if you're going to come out, make sure that you're going to get that ball, and when you get the ball, punch it miles clear. Don't come out and then just not get the ball.
The thing is, though, with this game is, even when we punched it miles clear, even when we knocked it out of play, if the throw-in was in our half, it was a long throw. We have to deal with a dead ball situation every 10 seconds. Yeah. Every time the ball went out of play, unless it was in their half.
Yeah, those long throws are so annoying as well. The Square Ball podcast, their match ball podcast afterwards, they were saying it. Each long throw, they took about 2 minutes to set everyone up to get all the big men forward for a throw-in. I mean, if we were taking a short throw-in, the referee wouldn't allow that much time. But for long throw-ins, he's like, oh, yeah, go on. Take 10 minutes if you need to set this long throw-in up. Ridiculous. Time-wasting tactic, that.
I hate Lee Tomlin as well.
Yeah,
I hate a lot of players in that team.
Yeah. He's small and fat, and he's been dreadful for years and years, but at Cardiff he somehow does decent.
They eat pizza after games as well.
Yeah. But to be fair to Lee Tomlin, though, this was a good goal to get Cardiff back in the game, get their
It was an open goal back. It was an open goal.
Because Kiko gave him a chance, and Kiko should not have done that. Kiko needs to learn from that, really. I have heard people defend it, but I can't defend him because he's come out, done absolutely nothing, and gifted Lee Tomlin that chance, and he took it well. Really good goal, but really poor goal to concede on a Leeds United view. And at that point, though, yes, it was 3-1, but we were so comfortable you never expected Cardiff to really get back into the game.
It took them ages to get back into it.
Yeah, I mean,
it was like 20 minutes at 3-1.
Well, you thought that we'd just see it out, really, and you never really thought that they'd get back into it, but they did. 3-2 on 82 minutes. Sean Morrison header. Too easy. Too easy.
And NkGhTg gives away a foul on just into our half after the halfway line. They have their, I think it's their left back or left winger. It was completely unmarked, and Costa doesn't close him down anywhere near fast enough. He has all the time in the world to knock a ball in, and we just don't defend it.
Yeah, it was a really, really
appalling goal.
Poor. Yeah, because Leeds United just seemed to fall asleep.
Yeah,
free kick, one simple ball out to the left, one simple cross, and a header, and yeah, too easy for them. Really, really poor from Leeds United there, and then they equalised. 88 minutes.
Are we not mentioning the fact that they were down to 10 men when they equalised?
Yeah, they were. Eddie Nketiah, of course, the substitute, came on with his pace and got the better of Sean Morrison, the goal scorer, and he went in. Initially, I thought it was a Stonewall red card. It was an awful challenge. Looking back in it, maybe could have been a yellow, but
he goes into the back of him, mate, studs up. That's a red card.
Yeah, red card challenge. Sean Morrison goes off. Cardiff down to 10 men. And at that point, you're thinking, it's 3-2, but you're thinking, they're down to 10 men. Job done here. Job done.
And we have a free kick from that red card foul at their end of the pitch, right near the corner flag.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's like, I think it's like, I don't even know if it's 89 minutes, actually. We're like 89 minutes on the clock, and you think, should we just go stand in that corner?
No, their equaliser came 88 minutes, so it'd been.
We didn't have very long left at all. We could have stayed up there into the pitch, repeatedly got throw-ins and corners, and wasted tons of time.
But we don't do that.
What we decided to do was let Pablo knock it in. They head it out immediately, and come right up our end and score.
Yeah. Really poor. Really wrong choice. We should have put it in the corner. I know that it's not Bielsa's style of play, and we'll probably never do that, but I quite like that. When you're winning late on, you need to hold on to the victory. Just keep in your corner. Keep it in their side of the pitch.
Waste as much time as possible.
Just waste time. Just cheat your way to victory. That's how you do it. But yeah, 3-2. They go down to 10 men. You're thinking, job done here. But Leeds United just seem to struggle against teams who have 10 men for some reason. And Cardiff's equaliser came on 88 minutes. Tomlin, really nice flick forward.
This was their best goal.
Yeah, really nice assist. Really nice flick on forward to Robert Glatzel, I think, to say pronounce it.
Glatzel, I think.
Glatzel, who scored. But I put substitute Pascal Stewart here at fault. Now, I know he's a youngster, he's 20 years old, but he got the wrong side of him. He didn't read the game properly, and he let him through. And it was just poor defending in the end. Really poor to concede this goal. And Cardiff didn't deserve it, and we didn't deserve to concede really, because we were dominant throughout the game. And yeah, really frustrating because Leeds dominated. Cardiff offered nothing for the entire game. We just switched off late on at times and suffered consequences at the end of the day. We almost won it at the end though. NkGhTg, his header was saved, and then Ben White missed pretty much an open goal really, but it did just hit off his leg really. He couldn't really react. But 3-3 at full time. What went wrong, Charles, for Leeds? 3-0 up, ended 3-3. What went wrong?
Extreme levels of complacency, I would say, in that game. And I think it's happened in the past as well, when we just think the game is won. The game is not won until you're walking off the pitch. And Neil Harris is crying, and that's when the game's won. It's not won on 60 minutes. It's definitely not won on 82 minutes. It's a 90-minute plus extra time game.
Yeah.
And we gave up in the second half. We thought this is done for, and we just defended badly. There was 2 or 3 instances of terrible defending.
Yeah.
The first goal is poor goalkeeping, and the second 2 goals the second and third goal are just poor defensive work.
Yeah.
Because we were complacent on the free kick for the second goal, and the third goal is a lack of
judgment,
a lack of savvy, a lack of knowing what you need to do in a certain scenario, a lack of experience.
Yeah.
Where someone like Pablo or someone like Liam Cooper or Luke Hale, experienced players, should be saying, keep it at their end of the pitch for 5 minutes. That's all we got to do. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I think that complacency was a big part because 3-0 up, win Dreamland. The crowd's going mental. It was a really, really fantastic atmosphere, and the players must have thought, job done. Cardiff are offering nothing, but
they were so poor.
Yeah, they were. But what they're good at, they did well in this game. Bielsa said it afterwards as well. He said, I knew how they were going to play, but we just couldn't cope with them in the end, and that's basically what happened. I put it down to the substitutes, really, because Bamford, of course...
He went off at 3-1.
Yeah, Bamford went off at 3-1 on 77 minutes, replaced by Eddie Nketiah, and we just lost something there, really. And I do see Bielsa's point in... Bamford makes the team more complete, whereas Eddie Nketiah...
He's got so much better hold-up play as Bamford.
Yeah, he brings others into the game so much better.
Or if he can't bring it down, he's nodding off out of play. He's making sure that we get like they get a throw in, or we get a throw in high up the pitch, or he's laying people off. Whereas Nketiah just seems to be, unless he can turn around and run at somebody, he's not neither use nor ornament. He seems to be like that second goal. If he doesn't give away that stupid free kick by trying to 2-foot someone from, leg someone up from behind, which is what he did. Whereas I think if he'd have let the defender run a bit further, I reckon Phillips or Click would have had him.
Yeah,
close him down.
Absolutely. I don't think Bamford. I think Bamford and Nketiah is a really good partnership waiting to happen, but it's just not going to happen under Bielsa, is it? But yeah, Bamford, I just feel as though we missed something. Bamford, of course, on a hat-trick as well. He would have thought, I really want to get this hat-trick, and would have tried to go for it. And so I would have kept Bamford on, personally. And Eddie Nketiah, it didn't look great either. It really didn't look great. And he probably will go in January, do you think?
It does look like it. He seems to be less arsed every time he comes on.
Yeah. Will you be bothered if he goes back to Arsenal?
I'll be bothered if we don't replace him.
Yeah. That's the big thing, because you need competition for places, of course. And Eddie Nketiah is, you can see it there, he's a goal scorer.
He's not a player to bring on to see out a game. He's a player you bring on when you need to score and win.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're drawing, when it's a tight game, you need to score a goal and win, or score a goal and draw, like Preston, where he came on and scored and drew, or Barnsley, when he came on and scored. To get us some points, then he's your man. He's perfect.
Yeah, he's not someone to hold the game and keep at that score.
He's not a player to see a game out.
Yeah,
he's just not that type of player.
Yeah, but he's a great option to have, and competition for places is always good. And so I'd say that we kind of need Eddie Nketiah, really. And I think that Leeds United have screwed themselves really here, because Eddie Nketiah has been on the bench, and we discussed it last week actually. Eddie Nketiah has been on the bench. I'm pretty sure that when Eddie Nketiah came in, Kemar Roof had just left, and he was thinking, all right, if I get fully up to speed, I'm going to be starting every week. And it just hasn't happened. So if he goes, and we try to convince another big Premier League club we've been linked with, that Ryan Brewster at Liverpool, that young striker there.
He won't come to us.
Yeah, you won't be able to ring him up and say, can we take you on loan? We'll give you $15,000 a week, but you're just going to be sat on the bench every week. They wouldn't do it. They would not do it.
If you're going to go for Prem loans, the Prem loans want a player.
Yeah, exactly. So... I don't think we would be able to get replacement if Eddie Nketiah leaves, so that's why I think it's vital that we do keep him. But if he does go and we do replace him, then I'm not really too bothered about it, really. But yeah, Eddie Nketiah in this game didn't really look good, and Bamford should have stayed on for me. Alioski Harrison on 81 minutes. Alioski came on, and substitution that we've seen quite some time, just like for like there. And Alioski, I'm a big fan of Alioski actually. But it's the third substitution. Stewart for Bavardi. Bavardi, experience. Yes, he's not got a lot of height, and I can see why Bielsa brought Stewart on, because he's thinking, they're going to pump a load of balls into the box. We kind of need that height on. But Bavardi's got the experience. Stewart, 20 years old. He had only made his championship debut on the Tuesday night. Came on as a late sub in that win over Hull. And then he's come on as a late sub here. He's got barely any first-team experience.
He kept going for the same headers that Ben White was going for. It was confusing.
It looked like he had never played alongside Ben White before in his life. Those two just kept on going for the same balls and kept on clashing heads. And it was really, really annoying, because I was just screaming, someone call for it. Just call for it. It's schoolboy stuff. You call for the header that you're going to go for. Don't just clamor into each other, or just read what your partner's going to, what your centre back partner's going to do. Just read what they're going to do. But no, he kept on clashing heads. Looked like he'd never played with Ben White before in his life. And it was poor. He was really, really poor. It kept on getting in the way of stuff, and ultimately ended up costing us the 3 points, because their equaliser is his fault in my eyes. It is his fault. I don't know about you, but for me, he gets the wrong side of him, reads the game wrong.
I'm not going to blame him for that. I'm going to blame... not something we do very often in this podcast. I'm going to blame Bielsa for that.
Bielsa for the substitution.
The mistake was taking Berardi off.
Yeah.
That was the mistake.
I would... if you bring in Struijk on, take off a winger or someone. Don't just... All three substitutions were like for like.
We could have gone. You could have taken Click off and put Struick on and gone 3 at the back with wing backs.
Or taken Pablo off and put Struick on.
That might have been the best option.
And just stuck all your defenders in the box. But instead he takes Bavardi off for Struick. Yes, you want that height, but Struick next to Ben White, 2 inexperienced players really. And Struick, of course, he literally made his championship debut the Tuesday night, just a few days beforehand, late substitute. So, I feel as though he was out of his depth there, and Struick just needs a bit more, really. And you don't bring him on in a game like that when the game's getting stretched, really. But a lot really that went wrong for Leeds United, really, and it's really, really disappointing that 3-3 draw. But we look at the positives. We played great. We're still second in the championship table. It's another point on the board, and we're now 11 games unbeaten, and also 10 points clear of Preston, who are in 3rd place. So it could be worse.
It could be better though, and that's the annoying thing.
Yeah, it could be better. But
perspective is one of the most valuable things in football, and with perspective here, you realise that we've not ruined anything. It is just a cock up. These things do happen. That's football.
Yeah. Do you think it's just an off day?
I think it is an off day because we conceded 10 goals in 20 odd games and 3 goals in one game.
We do have the best defence in Europe, don't we? So
I very much hope that it's just
a one-off.
Just a mistake.
Yeah.
And we can look at that and think, take the first 60 minutes, take the best of it, and then apply a bit of common sense.
Yeah. Because 3-0 up at home, drawing 3-3 is unacceptable, really, and. You just hope that they'll learn from it, really. Just learn from it. You'll give them a kick up the arse and say, don't do this again. Don't do this again.
We were at I know we're going to talk about this in a bit, but when we were watching that Calvin Phillips Q&A, Phillips said they had a meeting about the Cardiff game and it was a bit sore.
Yeah.
And they were all a bit annoyed and I
there
imagine
would be
a bit sulky, but
Yeah, well, I was fuming after the game, so I can't imagine what the staff and players must have felt like. But we move on. I
think Bamford said they were just distraught when he got interviewed after. They were just.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine you Patrick Bamford. You score twice. You put your team 3-0 up. You come off at 3-1. You think, all right, I'm tired. I'm coming off. I'm a bit annoyed. Could have got the hat-trick, but job done.
It happened for Sheffield United last season. They were 3-0 up away at Aston Villa. Billy Sharp had scored a hat-trick. He went off at 3-0, and then in the last 5 minutes and any time, Aston Villa went and scored 3 goals to draw 3-3. It just reminded me of that, really. But yeah. It really, really hurts.
That's Aston Villa away, though.
Yeah.
We were Cardiff City at home.
Yeah. But, the result really hurts, but you look at the positives, really, and you move on. I'm used to it now, being a Leeds fan. I used to see this stuff every single weekend growing up. It's all about how we respond from this, and hopefully we can bounce back against Fulham away at Craven Cottage on Saturday. We'll, of course, look ahead to that game later on in the show. But first, moving on to the Leeds United under-23s. They beat Bolton Wanderers under-23s 5-1 on Monday night away from home in the Professional Development League North. A few first-teamers played, Eddie Nketiah, Alioski and Clark. And Leeds were brilliant. 3-0 up at half-time thanks to goals from Alioski in the 18th minute, Jack Clark on the 29th minute, and Eddie Nketiah, who converted from the penalty spot on 43 minutes to give Leeds a 3-0 lead at half-time. Robbie Gotts made it 4-1 on 63 minutes, and then Eddie Nketiah got his second goal of the game after 76 minutes, which made it 5-1, and the Leeds United under-23s held on to win 5-1.
Held on at 5-1.
They saw out the 5-1 victory. Another win for the Leeds United under-23s. They're doing well.
Is that 5 on the bounce?
Think so.
Good. Nice one. Good job, lads.
Yeah, they're doing brilliant.
Can't say much more than that.
Yeah.
Jack Clark will probably go back in the January transfer window as well. So
Eddie Nketiah. He scored 2 goals here. I hope he gets more game time at Leeds. I really, really do. I want him to stay. I can't
help feeling that, like, under a different manager, under a different system, like in the League One team, Eddie Nketiah would have been brilliant, wouldn't he? He'd have been like a Jermaine Beckford Part 2. He'd have been superb. Under Simon Grayson, he would have been a superb player.
Yeah, he would have been.
He's a Grayson type striker. He's not a Bielsa type striker.
No, he isn't, is he? Bielsa likes the big men up front holding up play
and also
bringing everyone else into the games.
The big men up front also grafting, coming all the way back, because that Bamford's on the front post every corner, every defensive corner, to just nod it out. Whereas Nketiah's usually hovering somewhere on the halfway line, waiting for the ball to be lumped up to him.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, but. Another good win here for Leeds United under 23s. Anyway, 5-1 win over Bolton Wanderers. Hopefully they keep that up and keep on winning games. And the Leeds United women's team, they also picked up a victory this week, also against Bolton Wanderers. They won 2-0 up at Thorpe Arch on Sunday, thanks to 2 second-half goals from Olivia Smart and Holly Findlay. So congratulations to them on bouncing back from that 3-0 defeat the week before and returning to winning ways. And also many congratulations to the Leeds United women's manager, Dan O'Hearn, for being named the FAWNL Manager of the Month for November, recognised for their 3 wins last month. Brilliant stuff.
Nice stuff, yeah. Oh, I don't know where they are in the table. I think they're up there. Are they third?
Yeah, they're up there, definitely. The promotion will be the end for them.
Yeah, I think it's only the winner of the league, though, that goes up in the women's league, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
So they've got to win the league.
But they're doing brilliant right now to keep on winning games, and Dan O'Hearn, manager of the month, so yeah, hopefully to keep it up. Fantastic stuff there. Dan O'Hearn wasn't the only Leeds United coach to win an award this week. Marcelo Bielsa also picked up a Manager of the Month award for November. After Leeds United had a perfect month, picking up 5 victories in 5 games in November. Well deserved this.
Yeah. Just every time I think about it, I think of the Cardiff game. And I think should it have been 8 wins on the row? But it's just that negative thing creeping in. But yeah, we did have a perfect November, and it was a very easy month to support Leeds.
I think that's the best November for years and years and years since the 1900s. Absolutely,
the 1900s.
1900s.
I know, so it's just a weird way of putting it. The 1900s. It's not like Victorian times.
1935 or whatever. I don't know, but it's a fantastic November for Leeds United. One of the best we've had in many, many years. So, big congratulations there. And Marcelo Bielsa, Manager of the Month for November. Very well deserved. In other news, the LUFC Trust Centenary exhibition, located in the Birmingham Centre in Leeds Centre, finishes this weekend. This weekend it closes. It is the last opportunity to go down and have a look around now. Charles, me and you were there on Monday night for that Q&A evening with Calvin Phillips, the Yorkshire Polo himself, after I had won 2 tickets, thanks to the LUFC Trust for that competition, and awarded me with 2 tickets for my entrant.
Thank you for giving me the other one.
But the exhibition, I mean, it was brilliant, the exhibition, wasn't it? Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, we had a good time. We had a wander about. We had to listen to what Calvin had to say. And obviously we rattled through a few questions, and then everyone got like a photo and a sign. We got signed photos, and then we got regular photos of us and him, and then we got photos of us in the FA Cup that we won in 1972. Yeah. So that was brilliant. And
I got a picture with Bielsa's bucket as well.
You did.
The only thing that annoys me was I was carrying a co-op bag when I got a picture with the FA Cup 72 trophy and
which is
Bielsa's bucket. But at least the co-op was around in 1972.
I mean, at least you didn't headbutt a.
Thank you.
What would you even call it?
Just
Just a grate on the front, like a shop, whatever. You know when they pull them down.
The shutters, yeah. So me and Charles are leaving. Us two are the last ones out, essentially, because there was only one guy in there and he was locking up. And so the shutters, they were halfway down, and I'm walking out, and I saw him, and I ducked under. Charles is behind me.
I'm looking at my
just
phone.
Staring at his phone. Walks into the shutters. Loud noise behind me, and Charles is just there, just rubbing his head, just. And
why they shut the shutters to halfway down before anyone left?
I don't know, but there's about 5 other people in the Birmingham Centre. They just start pissing themselves laughing. So do I. It was hilarious. We just heard a massive crash and then looked, and there's you just rubbing your head like. Oh.
I mean, the shock was worse than the pain. I mean, because it was a massive surprise. It hurt quite a bit initially, and then I thought, it don't really hurt that much. It was just the shock of just nutting the shutters.
It's always a shock. Like when you stub your toe, you're really shocked that you just stubbed your toe, but then at the end of the day, it's really, really fine. But that was hilarious. But no, the exhibition was great. Fantastic stuff on display. I particularly liked the goalkeeper gloves display, because they had goalkeeper gloves, former goalkeeper gloves, all in frames. And in the same frame, they had Paul the Hubkers and Felix Vival gloves, the most 2 buttered-fingered goalkeepers we've ever had in our history, in the same frame.
Next to the likes like Nigel Martin and like Kasper Schmeichel, actual decent goalkeepers we had.
I had a real chuckle there, real chuckle there. I also wrote down, subscribe to All Things Leeds on the What's Your Greatest Memory of Leeds United board that they have there, which loads of people have written down. So I've put subscribe to All Things Leeds.
I didn't write anything on that board. I wish I'd have written Becky or well placed.
Brilliant. There's some old shirts, old signed shirts. There was some Harry Kuehl stuff which I didn't really agree with.
A signed Harry Kuehl shirt, which I was a bit annoyed about.
Yeah, I didn't really agree with that being there, but it's memorabilia. So and he was a fantastic player for Leeds United. You can't...
just a scumbag of a human.
Yeah, absolutely. But some really good stuff. Some old boots. The Burley Banksy, who we had on the podcast a few weeks ago, Andy McVeigh.
Had his own wall.
Yeah, had his own wall. The stats wall as well, where it said our record against each club and how many games we've played ever and how many wins and losses out of those. Andrew Stats-Stoughton did that, so big well done to him.
We were trying to see who we'd lost to the most, and I think it's Scum and Arsenal.
Yeah, we lost 46 times to Arsenal and Man United, so that's quite disappointing. But yeah, fantastic stuff on display there. Some signed walls as well, and then of course the main stage. It was a patch of grass, Bielsa's bucket, FA Cup, and then 2 chairs. And Ben Shires, I think he was interviewing Calvin Phillips. Some really good questions actually that he asked Calvin Phillips. And Calvin Phillips, he was fantastic as well. Answered everything. He was brilliant, and of course afterwards spent time to take photos and talk to people and take pictures and sign things for everyone who was there. Just single file queue at the end, and yeah, really, really good. Really, really good. Calvin Phillips, really, really nice lad as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, really, really enjoyed that night. And 2 free tickets that one, so can't complain. Fantastic display. Head on down there this weekend. As I say, it closes at the end of this weekend. So get yourself down there while you can, because it is really, really fantastic. Well, now, before we look ahead to Leeds United's next game, of course, it's December 2019. The new year, 2020, is almost upon us.
New decade.
And, new decade. That means a new decade, Charles. And this decade will be over. And what a decade it's been for Leeds United. A lot of ups and downs, as the song goes.
Mainly downs.
Mainly downs. And to look back on the past 10 years of Leeds United as a whole, me and Charles have put together our best and worst 11s of the decade, as well as rank each manager Leeds have had over the past 10 years in order from best to worst. What do you want to start with? The best 11 first?
Yeah, best 11 first.
All right, you go first. Run through yours.
All right. My best 11 of the decade is Rob Green in goal.
Solid choice.
Luke Ayling at right back. I'm going to explain the goalkeeping defence. I'm going to go Pontus Jansson at centre back, Ben White at centre back, and Charlie Taylor at left back. Right.
Interesting that you put Ben White there, because, of course, loan signing this season.
He's a loan signing.
How many appearances has he made? Let me just look this up. 22 appearances.
22 appearances.
24 in all competitions, Ben White this season.
13 clean sheets.
Yeah.
So, I'm going with that. Very, very good player. Right, we'll start with Rob Green anyway. We signed him, 36 or 37-year-old goalkeeper, very experienced, ex-West Ham, ex-England, very good player.
Yeah, in the 16-17 season under Gary Monk.
In the Monk season, and the second half of that season, I remember that remember the Newcastle away game where he made about 6 or 7
fantastic, where we drew 1-1. Yeah, he was fantastic there.
Chris Wood shithoused Newcastle in the 95th minute with me going mental in somebody's living room.
Yeah, I went mental in my living room, and I had people over from America, my family over from America. They were in the other room. They had no idea what was going on. I
don't know how many appearances he made, but I would imagine it would be less than 50. But he was such a good goalkeeper, and everyone was gutted when he left. So much so that it was compounded by the fact we replaced him with Felix Wiedwald, one of the worst goalkeepers we've had of the decade.
But Robert Green, he did well when he left. He went to Chelsea, sat on their bench and won the Europa League.
He went to Huddersfield first, then he went to Chelsea.
Yeah, and then he went to Chelsea, sat on the bench and won the Europa League. Picked up the Europa League medal.
And lifted the trophy as well, which was well funny.
He made 48 appearances in total.
Just less than 50 then, I'm right.
Bob Green for Leeds, 46 in the Championship.
A very good player. I think he wanted to be guaranteed first team in the following season in 17-18, which it was refused. So he left. Luke Ayling, I'll start from right back to left. Very, very good player, signed in the Gary Monk season. That was probably his best season for Leeds. Adaptable. We signed him for something stupid like £500,000 or something from Bristol City. Lee Johnson has gone on record to say he's since regretted selling Luke Ayling, which made it even better. It gave him a better place in my heart as well, because I despise Lee Johnson. So yeah, I've always liked Luke Ayling. Obviously, he's pushing much further up forward in the Bielsa system, and he's getting plenty of opportunities to make chances, score goals. I mean, he doesn't always take them, but he's getting the positions.
Yep.
And I've always just thought, last 3 years, very dependable right back over the course of the decade. Probably one of our best right backs, and for me, our best right back. We'll go with Pontus Jansson. Bit of a divisive character. He signed in the Monk season as well, initially on loan from Torino, and then we signed him permanently. Very, very good player. Very popular person. Popular with fans as well, but he tended to push his luck a little bit too far.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
He tends to duck out of situations when things weren't going our way, or in the Christensen and Paul Heckingbottom.
Yeah, he threw his toys out the pram from time to time.
He did, but he was a very good player. Scored quite a few goals from corners, and he was just a big meathead centre back, which is what we needed at the time. And he was my favourite player in that Monk season.
Absolutely. Well, we've missed a centre back like that for years and years, didn't we?
Yeah.
And when he came, he was the first proper good centre back we've had in years, and he was brilliant. Just did absolutely everything. Got his own chant, of course. Leeds fans just loved him from the first match, right through to his last match, really. So he did fantastic at Leeds.
Fantastic centre
half.
Years. And then we had obviously put Ben White in. Not many appearances, as you've said, 22 appearances, but 13 clean sheets. He's on loan from Brighton. He's made such a big impact to our defence. We've got to become so much more solid. Such a good reader of the game, interceptor of the ball. His only weakness, he's a bit weak aerially, but how do I pronounce that? Aerially? Yeah. He's a bit weak aerially, but he's been working on that. He's got a great partnership with Liam Cooper, and he can play with Brady as well. And I've been really impressed with him.
Yeah, and of course he's young as well. 21 years old.
21, 22, something
like
that.
Yeah, and he came in. Pontus Jansson on the left. There was a lot of pressure on his shoulders
and he took it and he ran with it. Flew.
Absolutely.
Great signing. Charlie Taylor obviously came out of the academy. I think was it the 2015-16 season? Was it his first season? And did he win Player of the Year? I think at one point. Young player. Was it Young Player of the Year? He won?
Yeah, I think he might have. Yeah.
He was a very good player, and he kind of got. He was just dependable. You didn't even think about the left back position because that was just Charlie Taylor's position, and then he wanted to move on. I think he didn't really see the club going upwards, and obviously infamously Gary Monk threw him under the bus, didn't he? I think it was the Wigan game, the last game of one of the last games of the Monk season, where it was clear he was going to Burnley on a free. And obviously we got a bit of money through arbitration in the courts. I think we got $6 million for him. But yeah, he got thrown under the bus. But he was dependable, and he was a good left back.
Yeah.
And we haven't had many good left backs over the last 10 years.
No, we haven't.
He's gone in.
We haven't.
Right, midfield. I've gone for Calvin Phillips.
Obvious choice.
Lewis Cook. I've gone for a midfield three, I should point out.
Right.
Calvin Phillips, Lewis Cook, and Pablo Hernandez in the attacking midfield position.
Which is just obvious. Like Calvin Phillips, fantastic for this season and last season. Absolutely brilliant.
It was difficult to omit Ross McCormack. I was going to put Ross McCormack in.
Yeah.
Just because he stopped us going down
yeah.
in that McDermott season, where he was the only player who could play football.
Yeah. So who are your forwards then?
My forwards are Max Gradle.
The best winger I've seen at Leeds United in my lifetime.
I actually preferred my other winger, but pretentious, but I'll explain. Robert Snodgrass is my other winger.
Yep.
Superb player. I'm always remembering, I don't know who he scored the goal against, but he scored a goal, I think he gets a point or wins a game, and then gave the up yours signal to the away fans, which I thought was hilarious. And Luciano Becchio up front. I was toying with the idea of putting Chris Wood in, because Chris Wood had like 40-odd goals and like 80-odd appearances.
What about Beckford?
Beckford didn't score as many goals 2010 onwards. Obviously, he gave us a couple of brilliant moments, the Old Trafford and obviously the Bristol Rovers goal and the Tottenham goal. But for me, it was between Becchio and Wood, and because Becchio is my favourite player in my lifetime supporting Leeds, I had to go with Luciano Becchio. Yeah. In Leeds United's top 10 all-time goal scorers. The reason I chose midfield, of course, Hernandez was just a great player.
Yep, 126 appearances, 27 goals.
Lewis Cook, obviously, our best player in the team for and then we sold him to Bournemouth, which broke everyone's heart.
Yeah, it did.
And Calvin Phillips, who has become one of the best linchpin midfielders I've seen of the decade.
To run through mine really quickly then, Rob Green, same reason as you. Of course, the early part of that Gary Monk season, it took him a while to get going, and then that second part of the season, he was phenomenal. Yeah. Absolutely fantastic. Ayling right back, Janssen in centre back. Janssen, just brilliant, one of the best centre backs in my lifetime supporting Leeds. Liam Cooper next to him.
I didn't go Liam Cooper.
Yeah, of course known as Calamity Cooper from time to time. League One Liam. But he's been at Leeds since 2014. He's been with us, for the longest. Really, that I can remember, in this current Leeds United team, he's been with us for the longest time.
Is it Brady as well who's running close?
I think Bavadi came in the season afterwards and Dallas as well. But Liam Cooper, at the club since 2014, 161 appearances, 6 goals. It took him a while to get going, of course. Calamity Cooper, League One Liam nicknames, but fantastic this season, fantastic last season, and it's got to the point where we need him in the team, really, Liam Cooper. So, yeah, I think he's brilliant, and I couldn't leave him out. I just love Liam Cooper now. So I had to keep him in. Charlie Taylor. We've had no better left backs.
We just haven't. That's just the thing.
We haven't. That's literally the only reason I've got him in, because we're going through left backs. Alioski's not really a left back. Barry Douglas hasn't hit the ground running, and yeah, we haven't had another good left back since Charlie Taylor. So yeah, Charlie Taylor hands down the best one of these 10 years. Calvin Phillips, of course, the Yorkshire Pearlo, fantastic this season and last season. Took him a while to get going in his Leeds United career. A few managers didn't really like him.
Find his position, yeah.
Yeah, a few managers didn't really like him. A few managers played him attacking midfield. He was playing all over midfield, but now he's found his spot in that CDM role. Pablo Hernandez. Next to him, I'm going to 4-4-2 formation. It's pretty much Phil Hayes' team of the decade, just that one change, Liam Cooper at the back instead of Bartley. But Pablo Hernandez midfield, as I say, 126 appearances, 27 goals. The most exciting player I've seen play for Leeds United.
Yeah.
While they've been alive. Absolutely fantastic.
He's made some truly dreadful games watchable.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. Our main man. Back in the last season, he was the one pulling all the strings. He's been absolutely phenomenal, Pablo Hernandez. So he definitely, he was first name on the team sheet here. Max Gradle, left wing, 77 appearances, 25 goals. Of course, a loan spell and then joined permanently. Part of the squad that got promoted in 2010. Fantastic player. The best winger I have seen play for Leeds United.
He just used determination to get past whatever fullback he was up against. He was just all pace and trickery and just determination.
Yeah, he was fantastic. Scored plenty of goals as well.
He was slightly too emotional.
Yeah, he was. Of course, got that red card against Bristol Rovers in that final game of the season.
And lost his head completely.
Yeah.
And had to be dragged off the pitch by Beckford.
Yeah, and that could have easily cost us promotion there, but thankfully it didn't. But Max Gradle, fantastic winger, had to be in this. Robert Snodgrass, right wing, 168 appearances for him in total at Leeds, 35 goals. I've had dinner with him when I went to go. When I went to go meet Pele. When he came to Leeds at Centenary Pavilion in 2016. On the table next to me, Guy McAllister was there. He got pissed. And then at the front, a few tables in front of me, Robert Snodgrass and Jake Livermore, the Hull City pair, were sat there.
Weird combo, that.
No, but they were both at Hull.
Yeah, no, it's just you don't imagine them two together, do you, ever? On a social night out, you never see them two, would you?
But no, they're all brilliant. Robert Snodgrass, brilliant when I met him. He was fantastic. Guy McAllister as well in that dinner. And Pele, of course, meeting Pele, one of the greatest footballers to ever live, still holds plenty of records. So on paper, he is the greatest. Some people may say that he played in the Farmers League, but Pele was fantastic. But Pele's not in this team, by the way. Robert Snodgrass in this team. And then up front forward to Becchio, 190 appearances, 75 goals in total for Leeds. Fantastic. One of my favourite players playing for Leeds United growing up. And then next to him, Jermaine Beckford, 126 appearances in total for Leeds for him, and then 71 goals. I had to put him in.
I couldn't put him in purely because he didn't score that many goals in this decade.
But he was fantastic. So many memories in this decade, though.
Yeah.
Of course, start of the decade, January 3rd, 2010, 1-0 away at Man United. He scored that goal, 19 minutes in. Fantastic finish, really. It was kind of maybe missed hit, but he managed to score. Jermaine Beckford, memorable goal. The goals that he scored against Tottenham Hotspur in the next round there in that year in the FA Cup, we unfortunately lost a replay 3-1, but drew the first game 2-2 away at Spurs. Beckford both goals, last minute penalty. I won't forget that. And then of course he scored the goal against Bristol Rovers to beat him 2-1 to send us up into the Championship. I could not leave him out. Now, of course, McCormack, Howson, Lewis Cook, Chris Wood, I almost put them in.
Yeah.
If I was
all
to
good
put
players.
I would have put McCormack in ahead of Chris Wood though. McCormack, he kept us up.
He did keep us up.
Without McCormack, we would have gone down.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. He scored over goals, pulled over strings, and a shit team, really.
Shit team, shit manager, shit time.
So, yeah, McCormack, I was really close to putting him in, but Becky and Beckford. I just prefer them. So that's mine and Charles's best 11 of the past decade. Let's move on to the worst 11.
This is actually far
This
more
is going to be
entertaining.
funny. Yes. just name them and we'll know why.
All right.
There's no need to give a reason for it.
All right. Am I going first?
Yeah.
Right. In goal, obvious reasons. Roker. The worst goalkeeper I've ever seen. In or indeed out of Leeds United.
Yeah. The Hubka is in my 11 as well.
Lawrence DeBock at left back. Horrendous player. I think he
7 games, 0 wins.
0 wins. Yeah.
I think it was 7 games, 7 losses actually.
I think we lost at the 7 games. I'll never forget how shite he was at Derby away. It still annoys me to this day. Giuseppe Belushi, the alleged warrior, member of the Sick Note 6.
Yep.
Horrendous player and massive shithouse. And everyone disliked him, and he got booed that badly in the pre-season.
Geisley away
That he got released. My other centre back was initially someone else, but we'll go with this. Matt Pennington. Horrendous player. Whenever I think of Matt Pennington, I think of him falling over in the snow against Sheffield Wednesday, among other horrendous bits of play.
Oh, what a horrendous day that was.
He was an awful, awful player.
Yeah.
Weird fact about Pennington, I saw him on a night out in Leeds once at a theatre watching Adam Hills.
Was it a day before the game?
No, but he was out with his mates and he's clearly getting tanked up. So, right, that's just true. I also saw Belushi in Space once, the nightclub.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he was getting massively drunk. Scott Wotton. I hate Scott Wotton for several reasons. One, he just scored own goals in crucial games, in FA Cup games.
I mean, the Watford away game, he scored that own goal.
He was just a horrendous player. And
came from Scum as well.
And he came from Scum, which made it worse. It felt like he was inflicted on us, that we'd signed someone like we were getting punished to play as Scott Wotton. Yeah. I hate Scott Wotton. 2 of the slowest, worst midfielders I've ever seen is Michael Tong and Michael Brown. Horrendous players.
Yeah.
They literally, I'm not sure how they're professional footballers. They look like they should be sat in a working men's club. And I'm surprised they're not doing that right now. Matt Grimes, he sent that penalty over the bar at Norwich in the Cup. Awful, awful player on loan from Swansea. It was that point when we got all our players from Swansea. We seem to be getting everyone.
Yeah. Because Gary Monk came along.
And brought all the Swansea rejects, with the exception of Pablo Hernandez, who came from Al Arabi and was very good.
Yeah. But he was a former Swansea player.
He was a former Swansea player. I hated Matt Grimes. And I saw him drive away from Elland Road in his big white Range Rover with a smug grin on his face. And his mum had a massive go at Leeds fans. So I just hated Matt Grimes, as did most Leeds fans. And he went on to... Yeah, all the Swansea fans started bigging him up, and now they realise he's crap, which is really entertaining. Yep. Right, I'll go into my wingers. You disagree with these, but I'm gonna make very good reasons as to why. Mo Barrow first, 5 appearances off the bench for Leeds. We signed him in the January transfer window in 2017. He was supposed to be the one of the 2 signs, him and Alfonso Pedraza, who were going to kick us on, get us into the playoffs, and he did absolutely sod all.
Yeah,
he was awful player.
Never got in the team.
He was supposed to be this pacey winger that would whipping crosses in. He was supposed to be like Hadi Sacco with a footballing brain, and he was worse than Hadi Sacco.
Never got into the team. And then, of course, went to Reading,
came
back at Elland Road, scored, celebrated in front of us at the South Stand at our end, and we were fuming. We were absolutely fuming with him.
Yeah, I hated him. So, yeah, that's why he's in. Other winger, Jordan Pataka. People say, he was all right, was Pataka. We've had worse wingers. You said that to me today.
Yeah, I've had worse wingers.
But Jordan Pataka was... we kind of signed him. We thought everyone was looking at him on YouTube thinking this guy's great. It's a great football. He's really skillful. And he came in, he was just garbage. He was garbage. Yep. He was awful. I hated him. And he went on Come Down With Me while he was still on the books at Leeds United. That genuinely happened. You can look that up on Google.
Yeah,
for that alone, he belongs in the worst for the worst time of the deck.
Fair enough.
Last one, Steve Morrison. I'm blaming Neil Warnock for this as well. He sold my favourite player at Leeds United, Luciano Vecchio, to Norwich. And we were saddled with this old sack of shit, Steve Morrison, who booted a ball out by the corner flag. Got the nickname Shift, which he assumed was positive, but it wasn't. We all hated him. He was just awful, and everything I loved about Luciano Vecchio, I hated about Steve Morrison. Yeah, so that's why he's made it into my team.
What an awful team that is. For me, Paul Hubka again in goal. In goal, of course, signed from Blackpool in 2011, 6 appearances, and who can forget that 5-0 loss at home to Blackpool? 3-0 down at half-time, and he was subbed off for 18-year-old Alex Cairns in that game. So it tells you all about how poor he was. He got Tom Lee sent off in that first half as well. He came to pick up the ball, dropped it, and then the Blackpool player smashed it against Tom Lee's arm, and he got sent off a deliberate handball, which it kind of was, really. But Paul Hubka, dreadful goalkeeper. He first name on the team sheet in this worst 11 for me. In defence, Scott Wharton again. Of course,
reasons.
at least from 2013 to 2016, 66 appearances in total for him. Yeah, he was absolutely dreadful. Belushki again. Everyone just hated him. He scored quite a few good free kicks. Scored 2 goals in total for Leeds United in 52 appearances between the 14 and 17 seasons at Leeds. But yeah, everyone hated him, but could really score a free kick. Zaliukas, he didn't play many games for Leeds United, only 15 appearances in that 13-14 season, but he was dreadful. And I remember that night I was there, 4-2 loss at home to Reading. Zaliukas, dreadful, and the Leeds fans shouted at him, "You're not fit to wear the shirt." So
he wasn't.
Yeah, he Zaliukas, poor player. And then left back Federico Bassoni, of course, signed him in our first season back in the Championship in that 2010-2011 season. 6 appearances and then he buggered off.
Yeah,
Federico Bassoni was dreadful. Midfield, Matt Grimes, 7 appearances for Leeds in that 16-17 season. Dreadful midfielder. And then Michael Brown in midfield as well. Very, very slow player.
Another reason I'm adding Michael Brown to my list, because he's always on quest, pissing me off.
Yep.
Listing the highlights.
Yeah. I did like the chant though. Just a team of Michael Browns. That was a good chant.
Just a team of Michael Browns.
But it was awful. He was old, he was slow, he was reckless, just putting stupid challenges. Of course, that leads from 2011 till 2014. 66 appearances and 2 goals for him. And then Bianchi in midfield as well. Tommaso Bianchi. Came in when Cellino first took over, 2014 till 2016 season. Bianchi was at Leeds for 24 appearances, 1 assist, 0 goals. He was meant to be the next big midfielder, but just wasn't.
Yeah,
he was dreadful, Bianchi. Wingers, Jimmy Kebe. Enjoying this. Jimmy Kebe. I remember one game. It was under Neil Warnock, I think, and Jimmy Kebe was dreadful. And when he got subbed off, people cheered that he was getting subbed off. I remember that game, and it was awful. Jimmy Kebe was dreadful.
Wasn't he at Reading for a bit, and he looked quite good at Reading, and then we signed him, and he was just shite.
He was awful. And then Cameron Stewart on the left wing as well. Many people have forgot about Cameron Stewart, but he came in along with Jimmy Kebe. They were meant to be the 2 big, next, really good wingers.
The Chuckle
Cameron
Brothers.
Stewart on loan from Hull City, and yeah, they were both dreadful. And then up front, for the same reasons as you, Steve Morrison. Of course, at least from 2013-2015, 41 appearances, 5 goals.
And the fact that he always celebrates whenever he scored against us for Millwall.
Steve Morrison belonged in this. I just hate the guy. There was many strikers that we also could have put in. Luke Varney, Noel Hunt as well, who was awful.
Billy Painter.
Billy Painter, a goal machine for Swindon. An absolute goal machine for Swindon. Comes to Leeds and scores about 2 goals. In quite a few appearances really, but Billy Painter, he was dreadful. Habib Habibou as well. I quite like Habib Habibou as a person, but as a player he was dreadful.
Yeah,
so
he was awful as a player.
Yeah, I could have put these guys in, but Steve Morrison, he definitely takes it. So yeah, those are our worst 11s of the decade. Let's rank the managers now. I'll go first as Charles is blowing his nose. So from best to worst, I think, because I think going down to worst would be a lot funnier. So from best, of course, Marcelo Bielsa, number
By far
1.
the best.
Has to be, of course. Marcelo Bielsa being in charge for 73 games so far for Leeds. 41 wins, 13 draws, 19 losses, with a win percentage of 56.16. Brilliant manager. I'm guessing he's first for you as well.
He is, yes.
And second for me, Simon Grayson, of course, got as manager when we got promoted in 2010 from League One to the Championship. In total for Leeds, Simon Grayson was in charge of 169 games, 184, drew 40, only lost 45, and had a win percentage of 49.70. Is he second for you?
Yeah, Simon Grayson is second for me, yeah.
I just absolutely love the guy. Leeds fan. Simon Grayson did a brilliant job, and unfortunately ended on bad circumstances. But But fantastic manager was Simon Grayson. Yeah, I'll always be thankful for him getting Leeds United promoted.
If they'd have bought him a defender when we first came up from League One, we'd have been up in the Premier League.
We would have been. We finished 7th in that first season back in Championship. If we had a proper good defence, we would have been there. But unfortunately, we didn't. Number 3, Gary Monk. Who's number 3 for you? Gary Monk. Yeah, Gary Monk.
Despite the fact I every time I hear more about him, I like him even less.
Yeah. Why is Gary Monk third for you?
Mainly because we'd had such a series of awful managers, and then Monk came along with Pep Clotet and James Beattie and all this backroom staff, and turned this average bunch of players. And then we went from finishing like 13th, 14th every season, and then we were up competing for playoffs. It was exciting going back to Elland Road again. We had Pablo Hernandez to watch. We had Chris Wood, who scored a goal every game, or every home game at least. And it got everyone back in love with the club again.
Yeah, exactly. Like Gary Monk, of course, it didn't end in great circumstances. Left and then joined Middlesbrough, and now Leeds fans hate him.
Massive snake and mercenary, but good manager.
Yeah, because he needs to get a lot of credit, because when he came to Leeds, average team, he brought in Pablo Hernandez and Pontus Jansson, which I'll always thank him for. And yeah, fantastic season there under Gary Monk. Brought togetherness back to the club. Brought me as a fan. Now, I was always going to watch Leeds, but I really started to love Leeds again because we were doing really well. Many other, Elland Road was starting to be a packed house yet again. The cheese wedge kept on opening from time to time as well. Now it's sold out in every single game. But it brought togetherness back to the club, brought fans back in love with the club. We were paying high prices, but we were playing good football, really. We were getting good results.
Wasn't that good football. No, it was defensive mainly.
No, but we kept on getting good results.
Yeah, we did.
And unfortunately, we just finished outside of the playoffs. We balled at the end, but never mind about that. But Guy Monk, good manager, definitely number 3 on the list, of course. In charge for Leeds for 53 games, 25 wins, 11 draws, 17 losses, 47.17 win percentage. Number 4, who's number 4 for you?
Well, number 4 for me is Neil Redfern.
Neil Redfern.
But I wasn't going to put him in this list until you insisted I include him in the list, because I classed him as an interim manager.
No, but it was been in charge for Leeds for 3 times. I think you need to include him.
He was in charge a lot, but he was never permanent manager, so I wasn't going to put him in.
No, but you need to include him.
As you insisted, I felt sorry for Neil Redfern a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Because every time we'd sack a manager and we needed an interim, he was there. And we put him in some bad situations with some truly awful teams, and he did his best. And I always quite like the guy. He comes across well. He seems like a nice bloke.
Yeah. He did well. Germany spells at Leeds United. Number 4 for me, Thomas Christensen.
Yes.
Now, I'm not pleased that he's in the top 5, but
I'm not either. He's in my top. He's 4th for me, 5th for me too.
The top 3 managers: Marcelo, Bielsa, Simon Grayson, Guy Monk, brilliant. We haven't had many other good managers apart from those 3.
Largely dreadful.
So Thomas Christensen, not pleased that he's in the top 5, but I've had to stick him on the list somewhere, and he's better than the other managers in the list. So yeah, I put him at number 4. Thomas Christensen. He did okay. Came from the Greek league, had Europa League experience, and that's why he came in, because he had Europa League experience. Also, he's a yes man, just a head coach, a yes man. Licked Andrea Vavazani's ass from time to time. Really, really, easy to.
Seemed to have no control over his team.
Yeah, no control at all. But we started that season well. We were top of the league, and then we kept on going through spells where we would pick up quite a lot of wins and draws, and then just lose 7 games in a row, and then we'd pick up the results again, start winning and drawing games again, and then just start losing games again. And then, of course, he got sacked. But it did well at times during his time at Leeds, of course, in charge for 33 games, won 15, drew 5, and lost 13 with a win percentage of 45.45. So, yeah, I couldn't really put him anywhere else in the list, really. Where's he for you?
Yeah, he's 5th for me.
5th. Neil Redfern is 5th for me. Instead, 38 games in charge, 14 wins, 8 draws, 16 losses. I didn't really put a win percentage together, because if I added them all up, like I've done for the wins, draws and losses, then it would have been over 100. So that can't count, really. But Neil Redfern, 5th, did well during his spells at Leeds, really. Number 6 for me, Steve Evans. Who's number 6 for you?
Unfortunately, Steve Evans.
Yeah, so we're both agreeing Steve Evans.
Me and Ed have very different opinions on Steve Evans. I despise Steve Evans. I can't say it. In that sombrero, those stupid glasses, that fat guy on holiday T-shirt. I hated him because we were that Brighton game where we were like 4-0 down at half time. There was many reasons I hate Steve Evans.
Yeah, I was out at that. I was out on that night, and I knew that kick was like quarter to 8 or something. I got home at 8, and 50 minutes had gone. We were like 3-4-0 down.
I just hated him. We were just awful. It was just one of them managers where I felt no connection to. I didn't feel like he knew what he was doing. And also, he hated Calvin Phillips and never played him. So,
I quite like Steve Evans, really. I felt as though he did okay at Leeds. In charge of 38 games, 14 wins, 12 draws, 12 losses, 36.84 win percentage. I thought he did okay. Got Leeds United kind of back on the map, really. We finished quite high in that season.
We're still mid-table.
Yeah, but high in mid-table. But Steve Evans, I don't mind him. But I don't know where else for him to go, really. So, yeah, 6th. 7th. Who's 7th for you?
Neil Warnock.
We both agree there. 7th, Neil Warnock. In charge for 63 games, 23 wins, 15 draws, 25 losses. 36.5 win percentage. Why is he 7th for you?
I would like to put him last, but frankly, there are worse managers than him on this list.
Unfortunately.
I don't like Neil Warnock. I don't like his personality. I don't like his style of play. I don't like anything about him. I don't like, as we've previously mentioned with the Becchio, Steve Morrison thing, I hated that. He got rid of Robert Snodgrass from the club, hated that. I just really, and he brought in all these bang average, slow players and ruined my club, and I just hated him. He was brought in as this proven promotion winner, and we were just garbage.
Yeah.
He'd been at Sheffield United. He'd done well. He'd been at Notts County. He'd done well. He'd done well at so many jobs. QPR, and then he just came here and he was shit.
Yeah, he was awful.
And I hated him.
Brought in a load of bang average players, such as Michael Brown and Michael Tong. Got all those. Brought in LS Juve, which I quite liked. LS Juve was quite entertaining.
I didn't like Juve.
But what I liked Neil Warnock about, though, I don't like him as a person. I agree with you 100%. I don't like the guy. I don't like his style of play. I don't like anything. But he brought through young talent like Sam Byram, Aidy White. Of course, he's playing at Hearts now. But he brought through Sam Byram and a few young players. I think Sam Byram played every single game that season. Neil Warnock's first season in charge. So
there's an argument to be made though that those players would have come through anyway, whoever was in charge, because of how good our academy was, and how awful our first team was.
Yeah, but Neil Warnock. Give us a cup run as well, of course. We beat Everton in one of the early rounds, and then beat Southampton, and then drew Chelsea at home.
It wasn't enough, mate. It wasn't enough.
I know. We were 1-0 up at half time against Chelsea in Dreamland. I was loving it, but then we ended up losing that game 5-1. But Neil Warnock, there's nowhere else for him to go on the list, really, because
frankly, they're just worse managers.
Yeah, we have had the worst managers. So Neil Warnock 7th for me and you. 8th, you got Brian McDermott. McDermott in 8th, 54 games in charge, 20 wins, 9 draws, 25 losses with a win percentage of 37.01. So a better win percentage than Neil Warnock, but I think he did a worse job. Now it was a big fan favourite amongst Leeds fans. We were singing his name. I think that we just wanted him to remain manager. Really, at that point, we couldn't really be asked changing manager again.
That taxi fiasco, chasing him around the car park.
No, Cellino was in the...
Yeah, chasing Cellino around the car park because he'd sacked McDermott and then he rehired him before the next game.
Oh, that was the mad 24 hours, wasn't it? So we played Huddersfield Town that weekend.
And we beat him.
Cellino came in charge, sacked by McDermott. So Neil Redfern went in charge for that game. Oh no, I think it was Nigel Gibbs actually went in charge. Prime McDermott's assistant went in charge for that game. I think we won 5-1 in the end.
Smashed him.
Absolutely smashed him. We were 1-0 down, but then equalised 1-1 at half time, and then just ran right in the second half. I think Alex Mowatt scored his first goal for Leeds United in that game. A really good goal as well. It was. McCormack I think scored a hat trick as well in that game. I've got a good memory. But we won 5-1 that game, and then Ryan McDermott got rehired after when Cellino fully took over. I think Cellino sacked him when he was just in the process of taking over. Then he fully took over, and then he rehired him. So.
I never felt much for Brian McDermott.
No.
And frankly, I think I'd hate him a lot more if Ross McCormack had scored all them goals to keep us up.
Yeah, exactly. Because we would have gone down that season.
And then we'd have been years in League One again.
Yeah. But Brian McDermott, 8th on the list. 9th for you?
Paul Heckingbottom.
Yeah, Paul Heckingbottom for me as well.
4 wins in 16 games.
Yeah, 16 games in charge. 4 wins, 4 draws, 8 losses. Win percentage of 25. Dreadful.
played awful football. That it was just there was such an air of apathy about the ground. Nobody wanted to be there. It was just dreadful.
Because everyone, it was after the Guy Monk season. Everyone was really hopeful. Everyone had bought season tickets, and then that season ended up being dreadful. And it ended up being a chore just to go and watch Leeds United, especially under Paul Heckingbottom. We played dreadful football. He did bring through some young players like Ryan Edmondson, but yeah, dreadful manager. And it's just unbelievable to think that after Paul Heckingbottom, we got in Marcelo Bielsa. Unbelievable to think about. 10th.
We've got a different order for our bottom three.
Like
you've gone off win percentage, and fair play to you. I went off managers that I hated the most. So 10th for me is Darko Milanic.
Darko Milanic for you in 10th.
Yeah. By the time I realised we had Darko Milanic as manager, he was gone.
I think it happened for me as well. I think I turned up to a game one time. I was like, who's that in the dugout? That didn't look like Dave Hockaday. No, I think it was Juve, was that actually? Yeah. But I looked at the dugout and thought, that doesn't look like the manager that we had. Who's that? Darko Milanic. Who on earth is that? And then I think he got sacked a few days later.
And he was sacked within no time. And I never really had time to dislike him. That's the only reason why he's not lower. He actually has the worst win percentage on the list, I think.
Yeah.
Three draws in 6 games and no wins.
But he's 10th for you.
He's 10th for me.
10th for me is Juve Rosler. 12 games in charge, 2 wins, 6 draws, 4 losses, win percentage of 16.67. Juve Rosler didn't do well at all.
He's 11th for me.
Started that season, that was quite a promising season. Got Juve Rosler in, did decent elsewhere. I think it was at Wigan before us. But we've gotten a few good signings. Chris Wood, Stuart Dallas, who was the main man back then, came in as a winger from Brentford. But ended up being a poor season. And Juve Rosler had a dreadful time. Just 2 wins in 12 games. So he's 10th on the list for me. He's 11th for you?
Yeah, he's 11th for me.
Yeah, 11th for me is Dave Hockaday.
Yeah,
you'll be surprised to know that he's not bottom.
List.
Yeah, you'll probably surprised if you that Dave Hockaday is not at the bottom of my list. But he's 11th, second for bottom, but he's 11th. 6 games in charge, 2 wins, 0 draws, 4 losses, win percentage of 33.33.
He's a bit of a legendary figure around Leeds fans, this Dave Hockaday, and not for the right reasons. He's just the whole story about the salt and pepper pots on the table when he's trying to describe his tactics. The fact that he is now a PE teacher, and we grabbed him from Forest Green and decided he was good enough for the Championship, which is amazing to me. What another one of Cellino's genius moves. I thought, was it Cellino?
Yeah,
it was Cellino.
Cellino came in, Dave Hockaday came in. It was a yes man, basically.
Yeah, it was.
But Cellino thought, he's done well at Forest Green Rovers.
Yeah, it was Cellino. I was thinking.
But then Dave Hockaday, I'll never forget his first press conference because he was saying, I want to get Leeds United into the Champions League.
The man was not only useless, he was also delusional. And for that reason, he is the bottom of my list.
I want to get Leeds United in the Champions League. Dave Hockaday and that team in the Champions League.
He was just... he was everything that we hated about the club at the time, Dave Hockaday. He was short-term, yes man, no ambition, cheap, useless.
It was embarrassing. It came from Forest Green Rovers, a non-league club at the time. Embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. When Dave Hockaday was appointed, and did dreadful for Leeds. 6 games in charge, 2 wins and 4 losses, 0 draws. Darko Milanic is last on my list because he played 6, won 0. He won no games of his 6 games in charge, drew 3 and lost 3, and win percentage of 0. Darko Milanic, as you say, he was gone before I even knew that he was a manager. But obviously didn't do good. 6 games in charge, 0 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses. Yeah, not good at all, really. So bottom of your list
is Dave Hockaday.
Dave Hockaday.
Purely because I did my list more on emotions. Yours is more statistical.
Yeah. Mine's more statistical. Also emotions as well, because I don't really like Neil Warnock and the rest of them.
I truly wish I could have put Neil Warnock lower on my list.
Yeah.
But frankly, they're just worse.
Somehow. But yeah, that's our manager's list. That was fun.
It was fun.
All that.
I walked down memory lane.
Yeah, I walked down memory lane, and hopefully this next decade is much better than this past decade.
Hopefully. As I said to you last week, describing this decade as something of a shit sandwich. It started off really nice, awful in the middle, and then was nice at the end.
Yeah. Well, let's now look ahead to Leeds United's next few games. Well, now let's turn our attentions to Leeds United's festive fixtures over Christmas and New Year. 5 games to look ahead to, and 4 of those are away from home, which is just absolutely mental. Of course, the first is this Saturday. Let's get rid of a shit Christmas music. Of course, the first is this Saturday as Leeds travel to Craven Cottage to take on Fulham. And it'll be a tough game, this one, probably the toughest left of the 2019 calendar.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to getting this game and the West Brom away game, which we're going to talk about in a bit, out of the way, purely because then we've played West Brom twice and they're gone and they're our main competitors, and we played Fulham once. You kind of want to get everyone out of the way, don't you? And you want to make sure that the running is as nice as possible. This will be Fulham have by far the best squad in this league.
Yeah, on paper, Fulham, they do have the best squad in this league. They should be top of the league. They should be pissing this league.
They've got Mitrovic,
Tom Kearney, Anthony Knockaert.
Tom Kearney obviously used to be at Leeds, released for being too short. Like, we released a lot of good players for being too short. Anthony Knockaert, and they've got Ivan Cavallero on the wing as well. Yeah. He's ridiculously good.
They have a fantastic team, and it's going to be very tough. But on paper, as we say, on paper they have a great team, one of the best teams in the league. But they're not having the season that they probably hoped for, really. After getting relegated from Premier League last season, after 22 league games, they've picked up 10 wins, 5 draws, and 7 losses. They're 6th in the Championship table right now on 35 points, 12 points below us, who are of course in second, and only 3 points separate them from Cardiff City, who are in 12th. So they'll certainly be wanting to win this one, or they could drop quite a few places.
Yeah. They're kind of in playoff form, aren't they? Or not at the moment, but over the course of the season, they've kind of been in playoff form, where they should be in walking the league form. I am looking forward to this, but London, as we've previously discussed, and obviously last time we said London's hard when we were talking about Luton. We got a lot of abuse because we were talking about being in Bedfordshire, when it's clearly it's like 20 miles outside
Luton London Airport. There you go.
Yeah.
Luton wants to be in London. It desperately wants to be London, but it isn't.
Luton is to London like Bradford is to Leeds.
Luton is to London like Wakefield is to Leeds.
Like Wakefield is to Leeds, basically. It may as well be. But Fulham genuinely is in London. It's in West London.
Yeah, we do have a poor record there.
And we've got a horrendous record down in London in recent years, and I am worried for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Fulham, they're not doing too well, though. They're not doing too well this season,
but they're going to see this as a massive leg up if they win, though.
They do have a lot of pressure on them, because if they do lose, then they could drop quite a few places. The fans will get in the back easily, but they'll be thinking, we're at home, Leeds are coming, they'll hear about Leeds, one of the best teams in the league, and they want to do a number on us. So I'm quite nervous heading into it. Fulham, though, they don't go in Saturday's game in good form, though. They've lost their last 3 games. A 2-1 loss versus Bristol City at home was followed up by a 2-1 loss away at Preston, and then they lost 1-0 away at Brentford in their last game. So
Brentford Fulham's obviously their West London derby.
Yeah. So they haven't had a few good results, lost the last 3 games. But before that, they did win 4 games in a row. So what are you expecting from Fulham?
Those 3 games are tough games. Bristol City are obviously a playoff contender. Preston are really good. I've got a really good home record. They drew with us away at Deepdale.
Yeah, and we haven't won away at Brentford since I think 1935 or something.
Yeah, a very long time. Yeah. and obviously that's a derby game for them. So it's like us v Huddersfield that game. So,
but still, the confidence could be short at the moment. But before those 3 losses, they did win 4 games in a row. So what are you expecting from him? It'll be interesting to see what kind of Fulham turn up to this game, really.
Yeah, they've got Scott Parker as a manager who's a bit inexperienced. I'll be expecting them to be playing to their strengths, so getting it down the wings, getting into Mitrovic as much as possible. Yeah. They're going to be trying. They're going to try and play the possession game. I'm not sure how it's going to work against Leeds, because even when we play away from home, we still play possession football. So I reckon it'll be a really good game, but I reckon it's going to be a score draw.
Yeah, it will be a very good game. You mentioned that they'll probably attack down the wings. WhoScored.com say that attacking down the wings is very strong. It's a very strong strength of theirs. They're also very strong at creating chances using through balls, strong at protecting the lead, and strong at defending set pieces. They're very weak, though, at defending counter-attacks, so we could have a field day here if we're up to our best.
We love a counter-attack.
They're very weak at defending against attacks down the wings, and they are very weak at stopping opponents from creating chances. Fulham style of play, possession football, short passes to take long shots. They attack through the middle, they attack down the left. The consistent first 11, they play the offside trap, and they are good at playing in their own half.
Offside trap might be very funny if Costa's running past their back line.
Yeah. But that's what WhoScored.com say, so thank you very much to WhoScored, as always, for providing all these very, very insightful statistics.
They pretty much predicted the Cardiff game exactly.
They did. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of Fulham turn up. Of course, Leeds United are looking to bounce back from that disappointing 3-3 draw with Cardiff at home and return to winning ways and extend their unbeaten run.
11 games unbeaten. We're not really bouncing back, are we?
No, but bounce back from that disappointing 3-3 draw, because that does feel like a loss, really, doesn't it, that 3-3 draw?
It feels like
Cardiff.
one, but if we're thinking about it, mate, it wasn't a loss, it was a draw.
But we're hoping to return to winning ways at least and extend our unbeaten run to 12 games. Leeds, we do have a good recent record against Fulham, unbeaten in our last 6 meetings, 5 of those being draws, 4 of those being 1-1 draws, and the other being a 0-0 draw.
We always draw with them 1-1.
Yeah, but we did win our last meeting, though, ending in 2-0 victory to Leeds at Fulham. So are you confident?
No.
You're not confident after I've just read all that?
I'm never confident down in London. I'd be confident if we're playing at Elland Road, because we normally do a bit of a job on them at Elland Road, but like down there, it's always horrible down there.
Yeah. But we did beat him in last game at Fulham.
Do you remember was it the Monk season where they were just awful? We were awful all game. They scored an own goal, and then Tom Caney scored like a 95th minute equaliser.
Yeah.
After Calvin Phillips got sent off, it was just. Whenever I think of Fulham away, I think of that game.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a draw.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Line up for you? I mean, Liam Cooper, he looks like he could be back for this game. We need him. Does he go straight in for you?
Yeah, you play your captain, mate. He's fit.
Absolutely. If he's fit, Liam Cooper goes straight in for me. And then, apart from that, I don't think there'll be any other changes, really.
No.
Unless, of course,
the changes were where it all went to pot against Cardiff.
Yeah, so don't make any changes. It of course depends if there's any other fresh injury concerns. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Going to be very, very tough against Fulham, certainly. But it's going to be a wide open game. It's going to be a very entertaining game. I think that we play better against the good teams who attack us a lot more because they leave space in behind. We exploit that space in behind. We exploit it and we do well. So, it'll be interesting. It'll certainly be a good game to watch. Will Leeds United continue their unbeaten run, do you think? What's your score prediction for this one?
It's got a Desmond feel about it, mate. I think it'll be 2-2.
2-2?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2-1 to Leeds United. I'm going to go 2-1. I think we may concede, but I'm hopeful that we'll go out with a victory. So you're going 1-1. I'm going to go 2-1 to Leeds United.
I'm going 2-2, mate.
You're going 2-2, and I'm going to go 2-1. The game after that, though, is on Boxing Day at home to Preston North End. 5:15 p.m. kickoff for this one.
Is there anything more championship than Leeds United playing Preston on Boxing Day? It feels like we do it every year.
Yeah. 5:15 p.m. kickoff for this one. Preston, of course, having a good season. The third, currently in the championship table on 37 points. 10 points behind us.
I can't believe they're third.
Yeah, I know.
They had that massively. They didn't lose like 5 games in a row.
Yeah, but they're having an incredible season. But we drew 1-1 away at Preston back in October, of course. Am I expecting a tough game in this one?
I'm expecting a win. I'm expecting to win that one. I think
score prediction?
2-1 Leeds.
2-1 Leeds. I'm going to go 3-0 Leeds. Same score against them
season.
At Elland Road as last season. Yes.
I don't want to go 3-0 up, mate.
No.
I'm going to get PTSD if we go 3-0 up.
And then it's trip to Birmingham City on Sunday, the 29th of December, 3 p.m. kickoff for this one. We of course beat them 1-0 at Elland Road in October. Of course in our Centenary game. Will we do the double over them?
They did the double over us last season. The only team to do it.
They did. So will we do the double over them this season? Will we get our payback?
I'd like to think so. I think we will. I think it's going to be a 1-0 win again.
1-0 win. I'm going to go 2-0. And then to kick off the new year, we travel to the Hawthorns on January the 1st to take on current league leaders West Bromwich Albion. A big game to kick off 2020.
It was the only game where I thought we got properly slapped last season. 4-1 loss, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was horrible.
It was.
And it's always tough down there, and they've got some very good players. And I would like to put on record that I hate Charlie Austin and his shitty Aguero haircut. And I want him to. I really want to beat him. I think it'll be a draw.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Are you nervous heading into it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big game.
Yeah, it's a big game. Is it a must-win?
it's a must not lose.
Yeah, must not lose. It's a massive game.
It's not a must win. We can draw it.
Yeah. It's a massive game to kick off 2020, kick off the new year.
We need to do as much damage to Diangana and Pereira in that game as possible as well.
Yeah.
Because when they didn't play against Wigan, and Wigan should have slapped them. They are literally the two good players they've got.
Yeah, they're a good team, West Brom. It's going to be tough. Big game to kick off a new year. Score prediction?
1-1, providing that Stuart Dallas does a job on Pereira.
Yeah, I'm going to go 1-1 as well. I'm going to go 1-0.
Stuart Dallas needs to follow Pereira around that pitch and not let him have any touch of the ball whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm going to go 1-0 as well for that game. And then after that, it's our FA Cup third round tie against Premier League side Arsenal away at the Emirates Stadium, which of course takes place on Monday the 6th of January with kick-off at 7:56pm as it will be broadcast live on BBC. Are you expecting many changes for this game?
Yes, I am. Bielsa says he always takes the cup seriously, but we always make tons of changes.
But we're against a good team now. Like last season, he made plenty of changes against QPR, but that's QPR. We're against Arsenal here.
I mean, I really would want to knock Arsenal out of the cup purely because it's on BBC this game. The pundits will have a field day. Yeah. Arsenal fan TV will be hilarious
if we beat them. Yeah,
I really. If only Eddie Nketiah could play and score, that would be the perfect game. But I think we're going to lose.
Yeah. Do you think there'll be many changes then? Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope it's still a strong side. I think it'll be really interesting to see how this Bielsa team, this Bielsa first team, does against one of the big teams in the Premier League.
I would love us to go first team 11 against Arsenal. I mean,
we'd slap them if we do.
Arsenal will make changes. They'll probably play like Martinelli, and they'll probably play either one of Lacazette or Aubameyang, not both.
Yeah.
They'll have I don't know if they're going to play at the back. Will they play David Luiz? I really want to see.
It doesn't matter who they play at the back because they're all shit.
They are awful. Who's their backup goalkeeper? Because they've got Leno in goal for men. Who's their backup goalkeeper?
Martini or someone.
Isn't he on loan at Reading? Or he was last season.
Anyway. Sure. Yeah,
I would like us to put our first 11 up against probably their backup team, and I want us to knock them out of the cup at the Emirates
because it'd be great. Do you want a cup run, or do you think it'll distract us from the main aim of the season?
I'm not remotely bothered about the cups.
I'm not bothered about the cup.
We're not going to win the cup.
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice to get a Premier League team at home. I would love it to come back, as a replay. If we get a draw down there, get Arsenal back at Elland Road, I think that'd be a load of fun. But
because we can get like 35,000-36,000 in.
And more money as well for the club as well.
And Arsenal fans can afford to pay £39 for a ticket, so we might actually get full away end.
Yeah, we might do as well. But it would be nice to play a big Premier League team at Elland Road. It'd be nice to go on a cup run, but at the end of the day, promotion's the most important thing. So we don't really want the least distractions, the better, really. But yeah, I do hope they'll put our strong side. It'll be interesting to see how we do against one of the big Premier League sides, especially this Bielsa team. Score prediction for you?
2-0 loss, I think.
2-0 loss. I'm going to go a 1-1 draw. I'm hoping that we get a replay because I would love to see Arsenal back at Elland Road.
If we play a mashed up 11 as well, it might be a 2 or 3-0 loss. If we play our full strength 11, I reckon we could get a draw out of it.
Yeah, I reckon we could get a result out of it. Arsenal right now are dreadful, so it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how that game plays out on January the 6th.
BBC will be panning into Eddie Nketiah in the crowd every 20 seconds. Yeah. Especially if we score.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, I hope we get a draw, get Arsenal back at Elland Road. That'd be fantastic. But that does bring us to the end of episode 48 of the All Things Leeds podcast. Thank you very much, as always, to Charles for joining me in this studio.
No worries, mate.
Thank you very much to everyone who has listened or watched. We really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed them, why not subscribe or follow the podcast? Give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts if you're listening on there. Share the podcast around as well. Make sure to follow All Things Leeds on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Search for All Things Leeds 1 on Twitter and Instagram. Search for All Things Leeds on Facebook. Search for All Things Leeds on YouTube as well and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Of course, this is the last episode of 2019. So thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in this year and supporting us. Me and Charles really, really do appreciate it.
Thanks very much.
Thank you for listening to me and Charles talk absolute nonsense every single week.
Also, shout out to me mate Izzy. She'll be watching this, so she'll know. And I promised I'd shout her out. Apologies for doing all these shout outs, but
No worries. Yeah, shout out to her. I also need to shout out someone. I need to shout out Luke Emery, working the Leeds store. I've been meaning to shout him out on the podcast for the past few weeks because he recognised me in the Leeds United store when I went there to go shopping. I wanted to jump in. They didn't have my size, which is unfortunate, but great customer service from Luke Emery. Fantastic, and it's always great to be recognised out in public because we're not the biggest fan channel, but to be recognised it just blows my mind.
For the sake of Ed's vanity, we need to be recognised as much as possible. He loves the fame.
No, I don't.
We met, mate, because I recognised you and you were buzzing.
Honestly, it's mind blowing. For the fact that people have watched and then to see me out and to recognise me and to come say hello and he told me how good the podcast was. So big shout out to Luke Emery. Keep working hard in the Leeds store. Because I do like the Leeds United store. Shout out to Luke Emery for recognising me. Hopefully he's doing well, and hopefully everyone who is listening or watching right now is going to have a very, very good Christmas. Hope you all have a fantastic Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well, Charles.
Merry Christmas, mate, and a Happy New Year.
Yeah, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you. Me and Charles will be back on January the 9th. You'll hear from us on January the 9th. We'll record on January the 8th, but then it'll go out on January the 9th. As these podcasts always do, to go out the day after we record. You'll hear from us most likely on January the 9th. But thank you for tuning in. Have a very, very Merry Christmas, and you, Charles, and have a Happy New Year as well. And we'll see you in 2020.